Since 1947 and what many Westerners know as the United Nations Partition Plan for Palestine, the State of Israel has been flourishing in the Middle East along the Mediterranean Sea. To Palestinians, however, this same event is known as Khiana, the division of the Mandate of Palestine into Jewish Israel and Arab Palestine, which has left many Palestinians questioning if their right to self-determination has really been respected. The plan, proposed by European Ethnic Jewish Agency for Israel, divided the region into 4 separate parts: Gaza, Acre, Hebron, and a central corridor to split these 3 lands. The first 3 territories were granted to Palestine, and the final central corridor, territorially uninterrupted, was given to Israel, and Jerusalem was to remain under international jurisdiction. This is where the first problem lies. The Palestinians were now separated from each other as harsh border restrictions were introduced by Israel. This meant that Palestinians, especially those in Gaza, felt as if they were being abandoned due to their lack of connection. The sense of abandonment felt by the Palestinians caused the Arab world to act on their behalf, sparking the Arab-Israeli War. The Palestinians were humiliated at the end of the war, and the Israeli army took most of the land promised to the Palestinians, leaving them with fractured pieces of the now called West Bank and Gaza Strip. This was the beginning of the refugee crisis. Over 700,000 Palestinians were forced to flee in 1948 from the now called occupied territories or face Israeli persecution. These refugees did not have access to the camps and settlements set up and funded by international cooperation until the 1950s. Many six-day refugees, called second-class refugees due to them being the second wave of Palestinians to leave Palestine since the Arab-Israeli War, resettled in Kuwait, but were again forced to leave from their relatively new homes due to the Iraqi occupation of Kuwait during the Gulf War. A common theme among these Palestinian refugees is that they today do not feel as if they have any home, and many people have seemed to forget about the Palestinian crisis of the 1990s, and the Palestinian crisis of the 60s, and the 50s and the 40s. But it is still going on today with the Syrian war. Over 100,000 Palestinians among Syrian and Kurdish refugees are also being forced to flee Syria. These refugees, called third or fourth class refugees depending on who's asking, have often been labeled as the Palestinian people who have faced the worst atrocities due to them being refugees. While fleeing Syria, many risk bombings and gas attacks that occur while trying to leave, harsh border control in southern Syria and Lebanon, and imprisonment for fleeing, specifically in Lebanon and Syria. Many of these refugees, not unlike Syrian refugees, are rounded into camps and often not given the basic resources needed to survive. Even at the largest UN refugee camp near the capital of Jordan, Amman, there is still a major crisis for water contamination and freshwater shortages. Many die in these camps, often in the arms of their family members. The Palestinian sections of the refugee camps are noted as having the highest infant mortality rate in the world due to lack of supplies and ease of transmission for diseases. 1 in 6 children born in the Palestinian camps will not live past the age of 2 months, according to UN statistics.
¿Cuál es vuestra opinión sobre la situación actual en Palestina?
Ahora es una situación peligrosa para todos en la región, los israelíes, los palestinos, los libaneses, los sirios, los jordanos, los egipcios, todos ellos. Este conflicto propone un serio problema para el mundo árabe.
¿Está mejorando la situación en Palestina?
No, cada día la situación empeora. Los palestinos étnicos, ya sean musulmanes, judíos o cristianos, están siendo expulsados de sus hogares en Cisjordania y obligados a huir de la creación de asentamientos israelíes en Cisjordania. El bloqueo israelí de la franja de Gaza también ha causado una desconexión entre los dos principales territorios palestinos, causando grandes diferencias políticas y voluntades del pueblo.
But, as Jordan and Palestine continue cooperating on resettlement and sponsorship programs for refugees, the future, although still darkened by the war, is looking increasingly brighter for the Palestinian people. Within the past 6 months, over 5,000 refugees have been resettled into daily life in Jordan, with jobs, access to food and clean water, government-assisted shelter, homing, and a higher quality of life. like organizations like the UNRWA or the UN Relief and Works Agency. There are many working to assist the Palestinians during their struggle. Please help by donating to organizations like the UNRWA, by donating your time, your money, or supplies that many people lack in their daily lives, and will continually lack until the end of the crisis.